Welcome, Wildcat fans. This is Cindy McCarthy, and I'm broadcasting live tonight from Central City. We got the final home volleyball game. Wildcats are hosting North Lynn. It is pink out tonight. Wildcats got their pink jerseys on to bring awareness to breast cancer. Coming into tonight's game here against North Lynn, Wildcats are coming in 0-5 in the conference and 1-10 overall, and North Lynn is 1-3 in the conference and 6-16 overall. So hopefully the Wildcats here can get a conference win. I announced the game a couple weeks ago, and they were pretty competitive. Just couldn't get the job done. So hopefully tonight coming in here we can get this game and get a win. Just kind of some stats here quick before we get started. Riley Armstrong is leading the Wildcats in assists, and freshman Brooke Silver is leading the Wildcats in kills. Savannah Cook Sr. is leading the Wildcats in total blocks. Alexia Hornia is leading in digs. And then ace serves, Brooke Silver, freshman, is leading the team in ace serves. For the North Lynn Lynx tonight, Delaney Rawson is their leader in assists, so that means she's the setter. Whitney Brady is their hitter. She's leading in kills. And she's also their leading blocker. And ace serves is Delaney Rawson, the setter. So you'll be hearing those names. So getting ready here with the starting lineups. Again, introducing the starting lineups. And there looks like there's some confusion on the North Lynn side. So for the Wildcats, number 2, Avery Wise will be starting. Number 5, freshman Brooke Silver. Savannah Cook Sr. will be a starter. Number 10, Riley Armstrong. Number 11, Alexia Harina. And number 23, Braylon Abernathy.
So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Beth Griggs with the national anthem, always does a fantastic job. All right, so we're going to get started here. For the Wildcats, the 6 that are on the floor are going to be Brooke Silver, Avery Wise, Riley Armstrong, Savannah Cook, Alexia, and Braylon Abernathy. For the Lynx, it's going to be Kennedy Arnold, Lucy Hoggenberry, looks like Ava Hoover, Aaliyah Wegman, Allison Arnold, and Delaney Rousen. So we'll see what the Wildcats can do. Hopefully they get off to a good start. I'm not sure. I don't see the ball, so I'm not sure who won the serve. All right, looks like Northland is going to start with the serve. So hopefully the Wildcats here can receive this and get that serve back on their side right away. Brooke Silver with the pass up. They're going to go outside to Riley Armstrong. She's going to hit it over. Lynx are going to play it up, and they're going to have a hit on that outside by Whitney Brady. And that's going to be a kill for Whitney. And there's the serve to Riley Armstrong, up to Braylon, tipped over by Savannah. Lynx are going to play it up, and again, they're going outside to Brady, and Brady's going to get another kill. That was off the arms of Brooke Silver, maybe. All right, so Wegman will get another serve, and she goes to Riley Armstrong. It goes to Abernathy, back to Avery Wise, who gets a kill for the Wildcats, and it's going to be a side out. And it's 1-2. Northland's up. There's a serve by Avery, and it's going to be tipped over there by the Wildcats. The Lynx. Wildcats are going to come back, and they try to get a hit out of that strong side, a little hook shot and Brooke just hits it into the net. Nice idea. So the ball's going to go back over to the Lynx, and it's going to be hit. Nice job by Avery. Pops it over the net, and the Lynx can't return it. And so that's going to be and there's going to be a bad pass. Wildcats aren't able to take advantage of that, but we do have the ball, and it's going to be Braylon, and that's going to be in. Nice job, deep corner. Braylon found that opening, and so that's going to be a side out. And Savannah Cook is going to serve for the Wildcats. It's 3-3. We're in game 1 against Northland. Savannah's serve is over and misplayed. Deep serve, and on the pass it's misplayed, and Wildcats take a 4-3 lead. Savannah Cook again serving. And it's going to be kind of a bad pass, but I was just going to say the Lynx do a good job of just being scrappy and getting that over the net, but they're not able to get it back over the net. And it goes into the net, so the Wildcats get another point, 3-5. And there's going to be a pass, and they're going to go outside again to Brady, and it's going to be played up by the Wildcats, and they come back with their own attack out of the middle, and I think that's going to be a bad, a carry on the Lynx. And so It's going to be another point for the Wildcats. So Savannah Cook serves again. And here comes the pass, and they're going to go out of the middle this time. And that was Kennedy Arnold with the hitting error. It goes deep, and so the Wildcats get another point. 7-3 here, Wildcats. Perfect start for the Wildcats. Hopefully they can keep it up. There's a bad pass by the Lynx. It goes straight up to the net, and there's a play at the net, and Brooke Silver is able to tip it down on the Lynx side, and that's going to be a point Wildcats. So we're in game 1, and it's 8-3. Wildcats up with the early lead. We'll give a shout out to Heartland Bank, our current sponsor. Heartland Bank's a proud supporter of Central City Wildcat sports. At Heartland Bank, we recognize more than ever the need to support local customers and organizations in our communities. As your community bank, we're here for you, and we appreciate everything that Heartland Bank does and the support that they've given us for our Wildcat cast. All right. So Savannah Cook is going to continue serving for the Wildcats, and she comes out of the timeout with a bad serve, and then she's going to sub out, and Pete Port's going to check in. And there's a serve by Northland, played back over by the Wildcats, and then the Lynx set up an attack, and they're going to get a kill out of Allison Arnold. Gets a tip over, and the Wildcats aren't able to play that. So we've got 8-5. Lynx serving, Harley Henderson. She's their libero. And Brooke Silver plays it up to Braylon, and then it goes, they're going to say 2 hits. Or, I'm sorry, I think they're going to say that Delaney Rawson was in the net. And so that's going to be a side out and a point for the Wildcats. So Riley Armstrong is going to go back to serve. And Riley is a nice serve, and Rawson sets it outside to Brady. And the Wildcats aren't able to make that play. 2 hits, they're going to say. So it's a hitting or a passing error. So that's going to put the ball back over in with the Lynx. And Brady is going to serve now. Wildcats come back, and nice play by the Lynx on a hit. They just kind of scramble and tip it over, and the Wildcats are going to come back, and there's another just tip up, and and they kept it alive. And Braylon had 2 good attempts, and they played him back up, and she went for the 3rd one, and she hit it in the net. So you got to give Northland credit. They did a good job of popping that ball up and keep it in play. Wildcats just unfortunate there. So it's 9-7. Brady with the serve. They're going to go back outside to Braylon, and she's going to have another miss hit. So there's another hitting error. So now it's 9-8. Wildcats need to get a side out here. There's Avery Weiss, gets it up to Riley Armstrong. They're going to have Alexia hit it out of the middle, and she hits it deep. So there's another hitting error. So 3 hitting errors in a row for the Wildcats have allowed Northland to get back into this. And it is now 9-9. There's a soft serve. Brady's trying to switch things up, and it hits into the net, so we'll take that. Wildcats get the ball, get the point, 10-9, and Brooke Silver is now going to serve. And Brooke goes right at the libero, and then the Wildcats hit it back over, but we get it right back, and it's going to be out of the middle with Alexia. Now the Lynx set up an attack, and it hits, popped up by Brooke, and Brooke's going to have an attack out of the back row. Again, played up by the Lynx, and the Lynx, Allison Arnold takes a little bit off of that hit and just finds the middle opening for the Wildcats and drops it in there, so they get a point. So it's going to be 10-10 here in game 1. And Then there's going to be a serve by the Lynx, and it's going to go off the arms of Alexia. Delaney Rawson is serving for the Lynx. And she's going to come back to Avery Weiss, gets it up, and they're going to go back out to Avery, and Avery's hit is blocked. That's got to be 4 hits, yeah. All right, so they blocked it twice, and then they hit it 2 more times, so 4 hits. Nice job by Avery. And that's going to be a side out, point Wildcats, so that's 11-11. And Alexia is going to go back to serve. And it's going to come right back over, and there's Savannah with the hit, but it's kept alive by the Lynx, and they're going to come back. Braylon's there to set it, save it, and there's Riley with the hit, and it comes right back over to the Wildcats. This time it's going to be Braylon. She's going to push it deep. Nice job by Braylon. Found that back right corner. Nobody was covering it, and that's going to be a point. So Alexia is going to get the point and serve again here. The Wildcats go up 12-11. We're in game 1. Central City versus North Lynn tonight in the pink out game. Nice serve by Alexia. And it's going to be a free ball over, so let's see if the Wildcats can do something with that. There's Armstrong. And then they're going to have a kind of a miss hit by Savannah Cook, but the miss hit actually turns to be a good hit. And it goes right in that, finds that middle, just like North Lynn did the same thing to us. So we'll take that point. And there's going to be a bad pass. There's going to be an ace by Alexia, so that's going to be, it's going to make it 14-11 Wildcats. We're in game 1, as I mentioned. Wildcats are looking for that first conference win. Maybe we can get it tonight. There's a nice serve by Alexia, and it's just tipped over by the setter. Didn't set up the kill, and the Wildcats just weren't prepared for that. So it's going to go back over to the Lynx. It's 14-12, Wildcats up, game 1. And there's a good serve. Brooke Silver is there, and then there's some miscommunication on that second hit, and it goes out of bounds, and so that's going to be a point for the Lynx. Allison Arnold serving for North Lynn. And this time she goes to Alexia, then Armstrong. They're going to do a back row attack by Alexia. Good job. And kept alive by North Lynn, but Wildcats are going to come back with an attack, and there's going to be a kill from Savannah. And that's going to be a side out. Nice job by the Wildcats there. Makes it 15-13 Wildcats up, and Braylon Abernathy is going to go back and serve. And that's a nice serve by Braylon. And there's a little tip by North Lynn. Wildcats are going to come back with Armstrong with the kill. Played up by North Lynn. They're going to come back, and there's Riley. Alexi's going to do a serve from the back row, or a hit from the back row. Kept alive, free balled over. And we're going to go outside to Avery. And Avery's ball is played back over, and it hits the net and just trickles over, and the Wildcats just weren't ready for that. Couldn't make a play on it. So fortunate roll of the ball there for North Lynn. Makes it 15-14, Wildcats up. There's Riley Armstrong with played out of the net. Hit over by Brooke. Free balled, and Brady's going to come back with the kill. Wildcats keep it alive, free ball it over. North Lynn's going to try to set something up, and they're going to come out of the middle there, and that's going to be Kennedy Arnold with the kill going off of Alexia's arms. It makes it 15-15. We're in game 1. Aaliyah Wegman doing the serving right now for North Lynn, and she gets it up to Alexia, and there's going to be a hit by Savannah Cook, played up by the North Lynn. They're going to come back, and there's a big hit out of the strong side by Whitney Brady. She's going to get the kill. And Wegman with the serve, and the Wildcats are going to have, there's a little again, a little bit of a miss hit. Avery Wise trips over the setter, and she kind of mishits it, but it turns into a winning hit. So Wildcats will take that. 16-16, and then Avery's going to go back and serve, and there's going to be an ace. Goes right off the arms of the North Lynn, Harley Henderson. So that's going to make it 17-16. Wildcats up. Game 1 here. There's a nice serve played up by Hoover. It's going to be free balled over, so we'll see if the Wildcats can do something with it. Braylon just down balls it over. And it's going to come back out of the middle. Oh, and that might have been out, but Avery stuck her arm out to try to make a play, and it's going to be out. Was close to being out, but you never know. So it's going to be side out, and it's going to be 17-17 here. Served by Ava Hoover, and Wildcats are going to go outside to Brooke Silver, and Brooke's going to get a point. There's a kill. Hit off the shoulder of Whitney Brady, and the other North Lynn players couldn't make a play on it, so Wildcats get the ball right back, and Savannah Cook's going to go back and serve. 18-17, and Brady makes something out of a bad set. Some miscommunication, and free balled over, and that free ball is going to turn into a point. Kind of a misplay on Kennedy Arnold there. Went off of her fingers, so Wildcats get that point. 19-17, game 1. And there's another serve by Savannah. Lynx are going to go outside to Brady. This time it's partially blocked, kept alive. It's free balled over. There's a big block by Brooke Silver. And Brady's going to come back, and she just kind of karate chops it over. Wildcats are, oh! Brooke Silver tried to tip it over with two hands, and they called that 2 hits, which it clearly was. So Brooke would have been better off maybe just set it up there. 19-18. There's Avery up to Braylon, and big hit by Alicia, and it's going to be tipped over, and there's a point for North Lynn. Big hit by Alicia, but good job on the North Lynn's part to keep that ball in play. It's 19-19 here. Harley Henderson during serving for the Lynx. We're in game 1 of best of 5. There's going to be the serve to Brooke. They're going to go to Braylon, and she's going to Riley Armstrong with the hit. And they're going to come back with Brady. And Wildcats, good hustle by the Wildcats to keep that alive. And point Wildcats. Nice job. Good hustle. Good scrappy play there by the Wildcats after a pretty good hit there by Brady. And Wildcats are going to get the ball back side out and get that point. Riley Armstrong is going to go back to serve. It's 20-19. This has been a pretty good game. Wildcats got out to an early lead. And there's going to be a hitting error, or a serving error, I'm sorry. Not what we wanted right there. 20-20 now. And that's going to put Whitney Brady in the back row. Serving. And Alexia gets it up, and they're going to go with Braylon, who's just going to punch it over. And the Lynx are going to come back with Brady from the back row. She just kind of back row attack. And they're going to say, I'm not sure. Oh, okay, that was an illegal hit on Brady from the back row. I'm not sure. And so Wildcats get that point, and Brooke Silver's going to serve, and there's going to be an ace. Passed it to Brady, and she popped it up, and nobody else did anything. Miscommunication, and the Wildcats get a point. 22-20 here. 3 big serves right here for Brooke would finish the game. That'd be amazing. There's Henderson's going to, and they're going to come out of the side there. Wildcats play it up with Riley Armstrong. They're going to go Brooke in the back row. She plays it over. Brady pops it up. They're going to just free ball it over there with Wegman. Wildcats are going to go with Braylon, and Nice kill there she hit it right at the setter's head, and the setter didn't have anything to do but put her hands up to protect her face, and ball goes in the net. Wildcats get the point, 23-20. Brooke going right at Brady. Rawson's going to go into the middle, and Allison Arnold's going to get a kill there. Wildcats got caught flat-footed and just couldn't make the play, and they found an opening, and so the ball's going to go over here. And Delaney Rawson is going to come in and serve. 23-21. Wildcats need to get the ball right back. Rawson's going to go at Avery, and she gets it up there, and then she hits it in the net for a hitting error. And so that's going to be a point for the Lynx. So it's 22-23. Wildcats need to get this back here. So let's see what happens with Rawson. She's going to go to Pete Port. And then we're going to go back row attack to Brooke Silver, and there's 2 hitting errors in a row by the Wildcats. Not what you need right now. And so anyway, it's 23-23, game 1 here. Rawson's going to go to Pete, and it gets it up, and they're going to go out the middle to Alexia. She gets it over. They're going to go outside the Lynx, yes. Aaliyah Wegman with the hitting error into the net. So Wildcats get it, 24-23. Big serve right here for Alexia. See if we can't finish out and get this first game here. Alexia with the serve, nice serve. They're going to play it up to Rawson, and they're going to go to 9. And there's Brooke. They're going to set it. They're going to go outside to Avery. Avery adjusts. Kept alive by the Lynx. It's going to come back over. And Savannah's going to set up Braylon. Braylon pushes it over, and it's, yes, nice job, Wildcats. There's a mishit by the Lynx, and Central City is going to take game 1, 25. And North Lynn, 23. So nice job by the Wildcats. They got they got a side out right away. Were able to build up a lead. And then North Lynn came back, and then it was a back and forth, and Wildcats prevailed, 25-23. So good job to the Wildcats for getting game 1. I'm going to give a shout out to Heartland Bank. Unleash the power of more with more for you checking from Heartland Bank. You'll get 24-hour roadside assistance, cell phone insurance, access to thousands of coupons, deals, and more for free. So Heartland Bank, our sponsor right now. So in between games, they get 3 minutes timeout here to talk about strategies and stuff. And so Wildcats were able to get game 1. Tonight, line judging is going to be Adam Timko. Mr. Timko is math teacher at the high school. He's one of the line judges tonight, and then instructional coach and other duties as assigned. Laura Meyer is our other line judge. All right, we'll come out with game 2 again. Each team stays on the same side. During COVID, they changed that. And every used to be before COVID, every time the teams would switch sides, but now they just stay on the same side. And both teams are back out on the floor. Wildcats look like they have the same people. Alexia, Avery, Braylon, Savannah, Brooke, and Riley Armstrong. And Wildcats get the serve for this game 2, and that's Avery Weiss. And nice block by Savannah Cook on Kennedy Arnold's hit. And it's going to be a free ball over, so let's see if the Wildcats can use this. And they're going to go set it, and they hit it to Riley Armstrong, and Riley's going to have a hitting error. Hit that into the net. Miss hit there, so Northland gets the break there, and Samantha West is going to go back and serve. And Brooke Silver's going to play that up, and then she's going to tip it over, and good job by Brooke finding that opening in the middle. And Harley Henderson couldn't handle that, so it's going to be a side out. Goes right back over to the Wildcats, so we're 1-1. Savannah Cook's going to have the serve, and there's going to be an ace. It's going to go right off of Henderson's arms. So Wildcats up 2-1 here. We're in game 2. I don't know the whole rules with the Tri-Rivers, but I think this is a conference game since we're in the same side. So hopefully the Wildcats here are looking for their first conference win. And there's going to be another point for the Wildcats, so they've got a quick 3-1 lead here. They were able to get off to a quick lead last time, but Northland did fight back, and then it kind of went back and forth. So let's see what happens with the Wildcats here. They're going to free ball that over. Weren't able to take advantage. Northland's going weak side, played up by Abernathy. They're going to go out of the middle to Brooke, and Brooke's going to have a hitting error out of the middle. I don't think she's getting deep enough there. Instead of getting on top of the ball, she's just behind the ball. And so it's going to be a side out. And Ava Hoover with the serve for the Northland, and the Wildcats are going to come back with an attack from Riley Armstrong. Brady's going to come back at it for the Lynx. Abernathy plays it up, and Brooke Silver's going to play it out of the middle and just hits it off the net, and it trickles over, and that's going to be a point for the Wildcats. Sometimes it goes for your way, and sometimes it doesn't, and that one went the Wildcats' way, so that's going to be a side out, and it's going to be 4-2 Wildcats, and Riley Armstrong's going to serve. And Rowan's going to go outside to Brady, and we had two they kind of pulled her into the middle, and our setters kind of sucked in, and she found the opening just over our setter's head. So nice job by Brady just tipping it over, and it's going to be a side out for Northland, and Harley Henderson is going to go back and play and serve. Good hit there by Brooke. And it's going to be a bad hit, or 4 hits. That's 4. So there's going to be a point for the Wildcats. And Brooke Silver is going to be serving 5-3. Foot fault. And that's going to be a foot fault on Brooke Silver. And again, just kind of a mental thing right there. Sometimes you got to make sure you know where you're at. And so freshman mistake there, I guess. Brooke's been playing a lot this year, so she should know better than that. But the Wildcats, we'll see if we can come back and get the ball right back. Hit by Alexia. It's going to be played back by the Lynx. And it's going to be free balled over by Avery. Round's going outside to West, and West hit it into Rawson. Set West, and West hit into the net for a hitting error. So Wildcats get the ball back, 6-4. Alexia is going to go back and serve for the Wildcats. And there's a nice serve, and Henderson gets it right up into the net, and the Lynx aren't able to make a play, so I don't know. I'm going to say that's an ace serve. Not sure if that's what the exact rules are for an ace serve. And Alexia will serve again. And she's going to switch it up and find somebody else to pick on. Rawson's going to go in the middle to Arnold. Wildcats are ready. They're going to go outside to Avery Weiss, and there's going to be a kill by Avery. Avery's doing a good job tonight. And Alexia is going to serve again. There's Rousen just bumps it up to the net. Nobody can do anything with that. And so that's going to be another point for the Wildcats. 9-4. Another serve by Alexia, and this one goes deep. And it's going to be a side out, point North Lynn. Delaney Rousen is going to go back and serve. It's 9-5 Wildcats. It'd be nice to get this ball back, and there's Job Braylon, and we're going to do a back row attack by Alexia, and she hits it in the net. So there's going to be a point North Lynn, makes it 9-6. Rawson with the serve, and Wildcats just keep it alive. Don't get an attack. They're going to go outside to West, and the Wildcats are there for the block. And it's going to be free balled over. Brooke gets it up to Riley, and they're going to go out in the middle with Savannah. Savannah gets it over. They're going to come back with West, and she right there is Armstrong, and we're going to go with a back row attack. God, by Brooke, and hits it into the net. So our back row attacks aren't really accomplishing a lot right now. I think Brooke, the one thing is the set was a little low. So anyway, Wildcats are going to come back here. It's 9-7. We'll see what we can do. Braylon with a nice hit. And it's going to be free balled over, and it doesn't make it. So nice job, Braylon Abernathy, with that hit. And couldn't be handled there by the Lynx. And so point for the Wildcats, 10-7, and Braylon Abernathy is going to go back and serve. There's a jump serve, skins the net, and is going to be played over by the Lynx, number 18, Samantha West with that kill. Wildcats come back. Avery Wise with the big hit and gets a kill there. Nice job, Avery. And that's going to be, looks like it's going to be a timeout, North Lynn. We're at 11-7, and timeout North Lynn. So we'll give a shout out to Heartland Bank. At Heartland Bank, we understand that life is full of changes. We're here to support you at every step of your life's journey with personal and business banking options that fit your lifestyle. Online at hbtbank.com. Go Central City Wildcats. All right, so the Wildcats kind of the same way that the game started the first time. Wildcats kind of jump out here to a lead, and we've been able to maintain the lead a little bit more in this game. Last game we got out to a start, and North Lynn worked their way back, and it just kind of went back and forth, and the Wildcats were able to get that win 25-23 in game one. We're in game two right now, and Wildcats are up 11-7, and they are serving. North Lynn just called the timeout. So let's see if the Wildcats can pad this lead here and take game two. And there's Braylon, and there's going to be an ace. Lucy Hoggenberry wasn't able to handle that serve, and it goes off her arms, goes out of bounds. And Braylon's going to serve again. And nice jump serve going right back at Hoggenberry. And they're going to free ball it over, so let's see if the Wildcats can take advantage of this. Braylon's going to set Riley Armstrong, who tips it over, comes right back to the Wildcats, and they're going to go out of the middle with Savannah Cook. And it's going to be played up by the Lynx. They're going to come back with West. Big hit. Brooke Silver was there, but just couldn't handle that. So give West a kill for the Lynx. And that's going to be a point, 12-8. And I think it's going to be Allison Arnold doing the serving here for North Lynn. And she's going to go to Brooke. Brooke keeps it up. And it's going to be free balled over. And Rousen's going to go outside to West. West throws it over. Kept alive by the Wildcats. Free balled over by Avery. And it's going to be just a tip over by the Lynx. Riley sets Savannah Cook. Played up by the Lynx. They're going to have a hit by West, and West is going to go deep. No touch, and so that's going to be a side out Wildcat. So good job by the Wildcats not to give up any 1 point and get the ball right back. So it's 13-8. Avery Weiss has the serve, and it's going to be, oof. I couldn't see that in the corner, but evidently it was just deep. Laura Meyer made that call with a lot of confidence, so we're just going to say she's right. And that's going to go give the ball over here to North Lynn, and Samantha West is going to go in the back row and serve now, and there's going to be a hitting error on the Wildcats, and that's going to give North Lynn a point, 13-10. West will be serving again. See if Wildcats can put a play here. There's Avery Wise. They're going to go into the middle to Savannah. Nice hit by Savannah out of the middle. Rowson's going to go outside to Brady, who's checked in. And Wildcats play that. And there's Brooke Silver with the kill. The leading kill leads the Central City in kills. Brooke Silver finally gets going here and gets the point, 14-10. And the Wildcats will be serving with Savannah Cook back to serve. And she goes at the libero, and Rowson they just free ball it over. So let's see if the Wildcats can do anything with it. And that's got to be a carry, yeah. So Brooke kind of just barely tips it over, and carry on the North Lynn Lynx setter. And so it's going to be a point for the Wildcats. Savannah Cook going back to serve again. And she goes at the libero. They're just going to, Brady's going to hit it, but that's going to go out. She really wasn't in a good position to hit that. And she went with a full swing, and it goes out. So 16-10 Wildcats. This is game 2. Wildcats took game 1, 25-23. Savannah Cook with the serve. And there's going to be an ace. It's going to go off of Samantha West's arm and out of bounds. And Savannah Cook with the serve. 17-10 Wildcats up. And they're going to go ahead, and Brady's going to go with a hit. Right there is Braylon. They're going to go outside to Alexia. Alexia with the hit. Nice job. Played up by the Lynx. Arnold with the hit out of the middle. Wildcats play it. They come back, and there it is. There's a touch. Rawson stuck her hand up, the setter, and it hit her hand and went out of bounds. And so that's going to be a point for the Wildcats. So 18-10. And Savannah Cook will continue serving here. This is what you want to see. Just keep piling it on. There's West, pops it up, and it's just going to be tipped over by Brady. Nice job. Wildcats here are going to try to come back with Alexia. Nice hit. And Brady's going to come out of that strong side. Avery Wise is there. Braylon sets Brooke Silver, and Brooke Silver's going to, nope, it hits the basket, and North Lynn does a good job to play it over. So Riley Armstrong, she tips it, comes right back over to the Wildcats. We're going to have Brooke out of the middle, and I think that was a touch. Nope, I guess they're going to say there wasn't a touch. I thought it looked like there was a touch, and that goes deep. Brooke's just not getting back, and she's not getting on top of the ball. She's hitting behind the ball. So they need to get set up maybe a little quicker, or Brooke's got to get back a little deeper. So the Wildcats turn it back over here. North Lynn gets that side out, and they get the point and the serve. Alexia with the big hit, and out of the middle. Kennedy Arnold gets we blocked. It's kind of one of those things. We got our hands on it to block, and then it put it down in the middle, and we weren't able to do anything. So North Lynn with the serve. Riley Armstrong's going to down ball it over. The Lynx are going to come back with Brady. She tips it over. Braylon's there. Riley Armstrong tries to pull it out of the net. Can't do it. It's 18-12, 18-13 here. So let's see if the Wildcats can't get this back here and get this game finished up. We've got Ava Hoover doing the serving. There's Brooke Silver. They go to Braylon. Brooke's going to come with it, and they're going to say that I don't know what number, because the number that they showed I don't even see out on the floor. But anyway, somebody for the Lynx was in the net, 12 maybe. And so that's going to give the ball back over to the Wildcats, 19-13. and Riley Armstrong is going to go back to serve. And West is going to pop it up to Rawson. They're going to go to Brady. Brady hits the net and skims across and goes out. And so it's tough play there for the Wildcats. It's going to give the ball back to North Lynn. And Harley Henderson will do the serving. And they're going to go at Avery. And just didn't know nothing there on that one. Bad pass by Avery, rolled up her arms. So 19-15 here. Henderson will do the serving again. And they're going to go back to Avery, and this time she gets it to the setter. They're going to go outside to Braylon. Braylon is there, the block, but the ball falls on Northland's side, and so it's going to be a side out. And it looks like Brooke Silver is going to go back to do the serving. And it's 20-15, and Brooke's going to take a step back so she doesn't foot fault it. This time she goes at West. And they're going to come back with the play, and there's Brady, and the Wildcats just kind of fell asleep on that. Brady had a big swing, but she hit the ball, and so it dropped in the middle. And so now it's 20-16, and Whitney Brady goes back to serve. Brooke Silver gets it up to the setter. Alicia goes over, and bad pass there by the Wildcats. And it's 20-17, and Lynx got that point, and they're going to call timeout here for the Wildcats. Wildcats had this. We just got to staunch the momentum here and get it back and get a few points. So 2017, Wildcats are up in game 2. They took game 1, 25-23, so Wildcats just need to have somebody make a play, communicate, and make sure that that they're putting the pressure on Lynx. Real quick, at Heartland Bank, we believe that banking is about more than just numbers and transactions. We believe banking is personal and work to build strong customer relationships by getting to know you and understanding your needs. Member FDIC. So Wildcats need to get a side out here. You don't want to get that momentum over to North Lynn. All right, so Whitney Brady's going to be doing the serving here. She's going to continue serving for the Lynx. And she's going to go at Brooke Silver. She pops it up to Riley Armstrong. They're going to go outside to Avery Weiss, who hits it in the net. And that's going to be another point for North Lynn. I believe that makes it 20-18. And Brady's going to serve it to Pete. They're going to do a back row attack to Brooke, and Brooke's just off a little bit on her hitting tonight. That was an attack from the back row, goes deep. She struggled from that back row attack. So now it's 20-19. And Wildcats need to find somebody who can get a kill here and stop the bleeding. So Riley, they're going to go with Avery's just going to tip it over, and good hustle by we just tipped it over, and the Lynx just weren't ready for that, and so there was a miss hit. Nice effort by Harley Henderson to try to get it over, but fortunately it was called out, and so Wildcats get the ball back 21-19 here. Wildcats need to get 4 points, and let's finish this game. And Alexia is going to go back and serve, and she's going to serve it out. Right when the Wildcats need to have somebody step up and just finish this, we can't get it done. So it's 21-20, making it tight. Let the Lynx back in it. Let's see what happens. Delaney Rowson is going to go back and serve here for North Lynn, and there's Avery. And it's just going to be a free ball over by Riley Armstrong. Wildcats couldn't take advantage of that. And now it's just going to be free balled back over by the Lynx. Riley Armstrong is there, gets it to Braylon. This time they are going to get an attack, and it's going to be out. Wildcats just aren't getting back behind. They're deep enough on their transitions off the net. They're just standing there, jumping up and hitting it out. Okay? But I'm not sure what happened there. And that ball went out, but they must have said there was some illegal hit or something. I didn't see what happened, but Wildcats get the point, so we'll take that. I don't know what happened. And there's going to be an ace serve for Braylon Abernathy, so nice job, Braylon, to step up here, 23-20. I don't know what that call was on that hit by Savannah Cook, but we'll take it. And Braylon's going to go back and serve here. See if Braylon can find an opening over here. And and there's another ace. She's picking on Lucy Hagenbury, and that makes it 24-20. We're at game point here. And here comes Braylon, and it's going to be passed up, and they're going to get an attack. It's just a tip, and we just got pulled out of our, sucked in, and we weren't able to do anything. So side out, point goes to North Lynn, and Allison Arnold is going to be doing the serving, and Wildcats 24-21 need, and there it is. Served into the net, and Wildcats will take that and take game two, 25-21. Nice job, Wildcats. Jumping up here, 2-0. And we're going to go ahead and have a 3-minute timeout as the coaches put in their lineups. And hopefully the Wildcats can maintain their momentum and their concentration and take care of this game in three, or take care of this set in three, or match in 3 games, or whatever they say now. And so that's exciting. Good job by the Wildcats, really doing a pretty good job tonight. Whether you're a student just starting your financial journey or need a mortgage to suit your growing family, you can count on Heartland Bank for local decisions and fast, efficient service. Member FDIC. All right, so as again, coaches are putting in their lineups and making adjustments, and we'll get game 3 underway here. The coach left the gym and now he's coming back in, so hopefully he's got his stuff taken care of. I don't know what he's doing. He's got a minute and a half to go, so he must know what he needs to do. All right, so we're ready to get going. Wildcats look like they're going to go with the same people who've been playing here. And the Lynx have the same people on the floor that they've had in their last 2 games. All right, so the Lynx are going to start with the serve for game 3. So again, it looks like Samantha West, and Wildcats need to get this, and it's out. There's a serving error, back-to-back serving errors. Northland ended last game with the serving error, and they're starting this game with the serving error. And so we'll take that, and that's going to give the Wildcats 1 point. And then we're going to come back, and that's Avery Wise, and she's going to give the ball right back to Northland with a serving error of her own. So not the way we want to start game 1, or game 3. Wildcats are up 2-0. So this is one where you really want to be mentally locked in so you don't give Northland a chance for anything. So Wildcats get Armstrong. It's going to be played back, and again, just not ready. Error, passing error on the back row by Avery Weiss. And again, they need to just get focused and get ready to play. So we've got, and there's going to be another serving error. That was Ava Hoover for the Lynx. So let's see if the Wildcats can't put things together. It's 2-2 here. Savannah Cook's going to go back and do some serving. And let's see if we can't build up a little bit of cushion. And there's a good serve by Savannah. They're going to go to Brady, who just has to free ball it over. The Wildcats are going to have to free ball it back, not able to take advantage of that. And it's going to be Brady's going to, well, that's a hitting error. We'll take it. Brady was literally facing the bleachers and tried to hit it. You could see that written all over that she wasn't going to be able to do anything. So Wildcats will take it. Point, Savannah Cook comes back with the serve, and it's just going to be free balled over by Brady. And again, no communication between Avery and Savannah. Somebody needs to talk. Somebody needs to talk. Okay, and so the coach is calling a timeout. You know, here's the thing is he's a little frustrated. Here they are. They're up 2-0, and they're coming out here, and they're not playing, all right? And it's 3-3. And, you know, the thing is it's frustrating about that is that to get started here, that if I were the coach, and the players too, is you haven't won a conference game, and you're up 2-0, and this is your opportunity, and you're out there just not being silly and laughing about things and just not being ready to play. And so, you know, it's towards the end of the year, and, you know, as a coach, you know, you just kind of sometimes get to that point where you just need to, you know, do something like that. So, and Avery passes it, and fortunately for the Wildcats, bad pass, but it turns into a point. And so Wildcats are going to go ahead and we'll get a side out. Let's see if we can't get things going here. Riley Armstrong's going to go back and serve. 4-3 Wildcats, game 3. And there's a nice serve, good hustle by Northland, but they're going to say there's a carry. And so there's a point Wildcats. Good job, Riley. Nice soft serve. Dropped right in the middle. And Riley Armstrong's going to go back for another serve. 5-3 Wildcats in game 3. And Armstrong's serve is to Hoover. Played up, and they're going to go outside to Brady. And it's played up by Avery, and we're just going to free ball it over Braylon Abernathy. And Northland's going to come back with an attack. And there's a block right there by Brooks Silver, and Braylon Abernathy were there for the big block. Nice job, Wildcats. Now we got things rolling here a little bit, 6-3. Riley again switching up her, oh, that's got to be a carry, and that's too many hits. Switching up her serves. That time she comes in soft, then she might go a little harder, putting something else on it. So good job by Armstrong switching up her serves, keeping Northland on their toes. 7-3 Wildcats. And they're going to say an overlapping on Northland. They're going to call overlap. The thing that, and so they're talking about that. The coach wants to know who wasn't in the right spot. And so that's a point Wildcats. So it's 8-3. Riley Armstrong serving here for the Wildcats. And that goes deep, played up by Hoover, and it's going to be an attack, a hitting error in the net by Whitney Brady. All right, now we got things rolling. Hopefully we can keep the momentum going. Riley Armstrong, nice serve, and it's just tipped over by good hustle by Pete Port, and there's a throw, but they're not going to call it. These officials have been calling a lot of stuff pretty tight, and they let that one go. So it's 9-4. That was the setter hitting it on the second one. Wildcats weren't quite prepared for it. So side out, 9-4. Brady's going to go back and serve. There's a tight pass. Now just play it again, Braylon. Braylon just kind of stood there and watched that after she hit it. Wildcats need to get that communication going again. 9-5. Brady with the serve. Avery gets it up. They're going to go outside to Braylon. Nice job by Braylon, and it's going to be free balled over by Northland. Good hustle. Wildcats are going to come back with a hit by Brooke Silver out of the middle, and she finds that corner, and that's going to be a point Wildcats, 10-5. And that's going to put Brooke back serving. And nice serve by Brooke. The Lynx are going to go with an attack out of the middle with Wegman, and the Wildcats are there. They're going to come back with Braylon Abernathy, and there's miscommunication right there. Kind of a bad set right in between two Lynx, and neither one knew who was going to take it. So Wildcats get that point, 11-5, and Brooke's going to serve with a soft serve again, and they let that. I swear, officiating in volleyball is so. Ugh. They've been calling things super tight, and now they let that go again. It looked like a churchyard, backyard throwdown by somebody who doesn't know how to play volleyball. But side out to North Lynn. There's a good job by the Wildcats. Avery got that, and just a free ball over. And they're going to go ahead and set that up, and they're going to come out of the middle there with Arnold, but the Wildcats are there, and Brooks going to try a back row attack, gets it over this time, and it's going to be downballed by Arnold again. Brooke Silver's there. Armstrong's going to go back to Braylon Abernathy, and that's going to be deep on that hit, and so it's 11-6, or I'm sorry, 11-7 here. Wildcats are up, and Wildcats are up 2-0. We're in game 3, and Rousen with the serve. There's Pete. And it's going to be popped up by, God, Jesus, Avery Weiss with the miss hit and another error, and it's 11-8. Rousen's going to go at Brooke Silver. They go to Armstrong out of the middle to Alexia Hornia, and that's deep. So we're getting a lot of hitting errors and passing errors here by the Wildcats. We need to kind of get back going here. So it's 11-9. We got Rousen. Goes to Pete. She gets it up, and it's just going to be there. Nice, smart play by Armstrong, who's been setting, and that time she just tipped it over, and Wildcats were able to get that point in that middle spot. So 12-9, and Alexia Hornia hits the net, comes right back over to the Wildcats. They're going to go outside to Avery, and Avery Weiss hits it into the net again, and so that's going to be a point for the Lynx, 12-10. And we've got Leah Wegman with the serve, and that time, nice hit by, there we go, Avery got it back and got the point there. Good job, good bounce back. Point Wildcats, so it's 13-10, and we got Braylon Abernathy going back to serve. See if we can't get some points here. Nice serve by Braylon. And they're going to go outside to Arnold, and we've got it. And Avery Weiss hits it into the net again. All right, so there's a point there for North Lynn, so it's going to be 13-11. And Samantha West is going to go back and serve. And Wildcats just going to have to free ball it over. And we'll see if North Lynn, they're going to get a hit out of the middle. And Savannah gets a tip on the block, but then the Wildcats can't do anything with it. So it's 13-12. And West is going to serve again here for the Lynx. Wildcats need to get this side out and get some points. And there's the pass by Brooke. They're going to, and then again, there's the little tip by our setter, but this time Northland was ready for it, and we're going to go outside, blocked, and there's a hit by Avery and then block, and then the Wildcats can't play it back over. So we're tied at 13-13, and we've got Samantha West serving. She gets it to Brooke Silver, who pops it up, and Savannah Cook is going to tip it over. And it's going to be just tipped over by the Lynx. Let's see if the Wildcats can do something to tip it back over. And then it's going to try to be punched over by Brady. And this time Avery does get a hit, but the Lynx come back with her. And it's tipped over by Savannah. Good job. And we need to be ready. There it is again. Yes! Bad pass by the Lynx, and Savannah's able to crush it and get the point and get the ball back for the Wildcats. So 14-13 here. Avery Weiss is going to go back here and serve. And there's a kind of a bad pass, and it's just downballed by the Lynx. Wildcats are going to come back with an attack, and they've got Brooke, and there's a kill. Brooke Silver with the big hit goes right off of Harley Henderson's arms, and a point for the Wildcats. 15-13. Let's see if we can't get something going here and get a run of points. Put this game away. 15-13. And bad pass, and it comes right back to the Wildcats, and then Brooks there for the hit, but she hits the net, so it's going to go back over to the Lynx. It's 15-14. And they've got Ava Hoover with the serve. There's Alexia, and it's going to be Savannah out of the middle. Karate chopped by West, and nothing. The Lynx couldn't do anything with that. And so it's going to be a point for the Wildcats, 16-14, and Savannah Cook's going to go back and serve. Let's see if Savannah can do something here. And there's a nice serve. West pops it up, and there's a throw over by the setter, but the Wildcats were ready. And there's Brooke, and she hits it out. And so a lot of hitting errors here in game 3 for the Wildcats. See if we can't get things straightened out and put this game away, 16-15. And there's Henderson with the serve. We're going to go outside to Alexia. And there's a touch, and it goes off of Henderson's hand, so that's going to be a side out. Wildcats are going to get that point. And Riley Armstrong is going to go back and serve. 17-15. Armstrong serving for the Wildcats. We're in game 3. And Hoover pops that up, and they're just going to pass it over, and this Wildcats just get sucked in too close. And we can't make that play. Just not staying in our positions, kind of cheating a little bit. And so it's 17-16. And Whitney Brady's going to go back and serve. And that goes to Alexia Hornia, and it's a tight. And we're still able to get something out of it. Nice job by Braylon and Riley Armstrong. Free ball over here. Let's see if we can't use that. Braylon's going to go outside to Brooke, and Brooke's going to hit it out. And I don't know if the sets are off or what, but our hitters are just getting behind it or something. But another hitting error, so the ball goes over to North Lynn. And it's 17-17. Pete Port with the pass, and Braylon Abernathy's going to try it, and she is going to hit it out. So another hitting error for the Wildcats. 17-18 here. And Brady is going to come. There's a pass from Alexia. They're going to go with Brooke from the weak side, and that time there's a kill. Goes off of Brady's arms, and the Wildcats are going to get that. So good job by Wildcats. And Brooke Silver's going to serve it into the net. Again, this is game 3, man. You haven't freaking won a conference game all year, and we come up and we're having all these hitting errors and serving errors. You just got to mentally, at this stage of the game, you got to be prepared. 18-19. That puts it over here to Northland. There's Pete, and she pops it up, and Phoebe Henderson, who's come in, gets that ball over, and it's going to be free balled back over, and it goes out. So let's see if the Wildcats can't take care of that. That's a free ball that goes out, and Alexia Horney is going to go back. Let's see if she can't do something back here. And it's 19-19. We need to get some points here and get this game, finish this game. So Alexia with the serve, and there's bad pass, and Wildcats can't make anything out of it, and so it's going to be a point for Northland, and they've got it, and it's 20-19, and they've got the serve, and now they're going to go ahead and have West with the attack. And I think they're going to call somebody in the net on us. Number 6, I guess. And Savannah Cook was in the net, so now it's 21-19, and they're serving over there. And they're going to go with a back row attack by Alexa Hornia, and she hits it in the net. And now we're at 22-19, so Wildcats need to get it right here. Aaliyah Wagman with the serve. And let's see if the Wildcats can't. There it is. There's a pass. Riley's going to go with Savannah in the middle. Played back up. And it's going to be West. And West plays it. And it's just going to be free balled over. And they're going to say 2 hits on that. I swear, I don't know what the difference is here. All right, 23-19, Northland. And there's going to be a free ball over. And they're going to go outside to West, and West is going to go, and thank God Brooke thought about it, but she pulled her hands back down. Ball goes out. So Wildcats still have life here, 20-23. Wildcats are down by 3. You have to win by 2. So Wildcats need to get some points here. Be nice, maybe just get 5 points and finish this game off. Braylon with the deep serve, and it's going to be just free balled over by Northland. So let's see if Wildcats can get something out of this attack. They're going to get something out of the middle with Savannah Cook, and there's a kill and a point. So 21-23. Let's see if the Wildcats can keep things going here. Braylon Abernathy. And here goes the serve. And Henderson hits it right back to the Wildcats. And they're going to tip it right back. And there's Braylon. And she's going to go quick out of the middle to Savannah. And they're going to try with West. And West hits it into the net. And it's 22-23. And Braylon will continue serving for the Wildcats. And there's a good serve. Henderson's there. And they just free ball, tip that over. Wildcats are going to probably free ball it right back over. And we'll see what Northland, they're going to try to do an attack out of the middle with Arnold. And the Wildcats are going to go ahead with a back row attack by Brooke. The Lynx are there. They're coming out of the middle with Arnold, and she's going to get the kill. And it's 24-22, so Wildcats here need to get a side out, and then they'll need to get some serves in here to see if we can extend this game and finish it off in 3. So West is going to go back to serve, and she gets to Brooke and Alexia, and we're just going to go ahead, and Brooke's going to just down ball from the back row, and we'll take that. So good job by Brooke, just down balling it from the back row, nothing overpowering, kept it in. And they're going to go ahead, and Avery Weiss is going to come in and serve Phoebe Henderson. And it's 23-24, so let's see if we can put some pressure on the Lynx here and finish this game. And Avery serves it into the net, and that is going to be the game. So Lynx kind of got the game handed to them by the Wildcats. Again, sometimes when you're struggling, you have to learn to win, and Wildcats just weren't prepared that game. And so kind of giving Northland now here a little life. And so game 4 here, the serve will, I think the Wildcats will get the serve to start this game. Wildcats will get the serve, I believe. Central City Wildcats. Now I can't remember. Yeah, I think the Wildcats will start. All right, so Heartland Bank's a proud supporter of Central City Wildcat Sports. Come visit us today at 59 North 4th Street in Central City or online at hbtbank.com and ask about ways to save, including CDs and savings accounts. Member FDIC. All right, so Wildcats won the first 2 games. Wildcats won game 1, 25-23. They won game 1 25-23. They won game 2 25-21. We were up in this game. We got off to a slow start. Then we were up in this game. Then we let Northland back in the game, and they ended up winning 23-25. A lot of errors, a lot of mental errors there on that last game, hitting errors, serving errors. So, as I mentioned, Wildcats are looking for their first conference win here and only second win of the year, and you just really got to come out on that last game. You got to really come out focused and being prepared to not let Northland now think that maybe they can do something. So we're getting ready for game 4. We'll see what's going on. Each coach is talking to their teams. Again, just because you win the first 2, you know that third one is so hard to win sometimes. That's where you really have to come out and be focused and, see what you can do. So here comes Northland. They've got their regular lineup out there. And I do believe that the Wildcats all right, so Phoebe Henderson will be serving here for the Wildcats. We've got Alexia. And Phoebe Henderson with the serve, and tipped over by the Lynx, and just finds that empty spot there in the middle. And the coach takes a timeout right away, and not sure what he's talking about. Just being prepared for that. That is a play that's kind of hurt the Wildcats here tonight. And so right out of that timeout, all right, so after that quick timeout, we've got Samantha West is going to serve, and Brooke Silver's there, and they're going to go outside to Brooke, and Brooke's got a hitting error into the net. And then that's going to be a point. And West will serve again. And there's Brooke getting it up to, there's Armstrong with the hit, and Lynx are going to free ball it back over. Alexia gets it up to Braylon. Braylon sets Riley. Lynx are going to free ball it over, see if the Wildcats can do something with that. They're going to go with Savannah out of the middle, and they're looking for a touch. I don't know. the officials might have to call that. Yes, okay, there was a touch. The thing is sometimes they want the line judges that are standing at the end to call a touch, and the freaking officials are standing right at the net, and that is hard for those line judges to see. So thank God they overruled it, and so the Wildcats get it, and there's the serve. Big hit by Brady, returned by the Wildcats. The Lynx are going to set it up. Brady's going to hit it again, and we're just not moving, really anticipating in the back row very good. So it's going to be 3-1, side out. Ball's going to go over to North Lynn. Looks like it's Ava Hoover with the serve. And Hoover goes at Brooke Silver, who pops it up, and they're going to go outside to Alexia Hornia, and it's out. And everybody's just can't get a hit in tonight. Now, first two games we were doing really well. These last two games, it's been a lot of hitting errors. So we'll see if the Wildcats can get things figured out. And we're going to go with Riley Armstrong with the hit, played up by the Lynx. They're going to come back with Brady, and the ball's popped up by Avery. And they tried to keep it alive, but good hustle by Braylon and Pete, but they just couldn't get it over, so there's going to be a point, and it's 5-1. And Hoover with the serve. She's going at Avery, and there's Alexia, and it's just free balled over by Brooke. And then there's a tip in the middle with the setter. She just tips it, and we just have a big gap in the middle, and nobody reacts to it. And so it's 6-1. Hoover with the serve. And there's Avery Wise gets it up, and we're going to just have a tip out of the middle by Brooke, and they're going to tip it back. The Wildcats are there, and we're going to go ahead and have another hit by Alexia and another hitting error. Right in the net. So we've got 7-1. Hoover with the serve. And there's Brooke. Popped up by Braylon. Free balled over by Riley. And then it's going to be a hit by Arnold. Wildcats are there. They keep it alive. They free ball it over. And there's going to be an error on Rousen. And the Wildcats are going to get the ball back, and it's going to be Riley Armstrong going back to serve. And it's 7-2. Wildcats have now. This is turning into game one where the Wildcats got off early, and then the Lynx came back. Hopefully the Wildcats, but they just had an error there on Brooke reaching back. Rule number 2, never reach back behind you. Rule number 1, never hit the ball with your back to the net. So we're 8-2. And Henderson is serving. And Braylon's going to pop it up, and Brooks going to go with the attack. And they're going to come back with Hoover or Wegman, and Wegman hits it into the net. So the Wildcats get the ball back. We need to get our focus going here, and we need to get a string of serves going. We got Brooke Silver, who's leading the team in aces. See if she can do some damage here. And Brady's going to come out of that weak side, and there's no blocking, and just back row not ready. So 9-3. And it's going to go back over, and Whitney Brady's going to move into the back and do some serving. And she hits it to Phoebe. And there's going to be an passing error on Phoebe Henderson. And they're going to go to Pete. And there's a hit by Abernathy. And back set and a tip. And Wildcats just are not getting off the net on a transition or coming up quick from the back row. And Brady's going to serve again. And there's Brooke Silver, gets it up to Armstrong, and then Alicia with the tip over. And it's going to come back to the Wildcats. And it's just going to be free balled back over. Brady plays it up, and it's just going to be a tip over by North Lynn. Both teams are just kind of tipping it back and forth. There's a hit by Alicia, and they're going to come back with West. Just a nice little hit by her. And Wildcats are going to go outside to Phoebe Henderson. She kicks it back over. And West is going to have a hitting error. So finally, good job by the Wildcats. Good volley there by both teams. And West hits it into the net. And Alicia Fournier is going to go back and serve. 4-11. Wildcats got their work cut out for them. We need to do 1 point at a time here. Need to get some points on our serves. And there's a hit out of the middle by Cook, but it's kept alive by the Lynx. West with the attack. Going to go outside to Phoebe Henderson. She hits it over and kept alive. And there's West with the tip. Riley Armstrong's right there. And free balled back over. And West is going to go. There's a block, and just sometimes on those blocks, man, we just pop it up and we just don't have anybody react. So point there for the Lynx. Nice try there for the Wildcats. 4-12, and Delaney Rawson's going to go back and serve. Alexia gets it up to Armstrong, who gets it to Braylon. Nice job by Braylon to coming back over free ball. Let's see if the Wildcats can do something. And Phoebe Henderson with the hit. Kept alive by the Lynx. They're going to come back with West. And Alexia is there. And we just tip it over. And it's going to be free balled back over to the Wildcats. And see if the Wildcats free balling it back over to North Lynn. And now it's going to be an attack. And good hustle by Braylon Abernathy to keep it alive. And then it's going to be West with a tip. Armstrong's there. Braylon sets Savannah Cook. And West is going to hit it. And it goes through the block, kept alive by Phoebe. Tipped back over by Brooke. And they're going to say 2 hits on that. Unfreaking believable. These officials, it's just like, I don't get it. I don't get it. Anyway, side out goes to North Lynn. They're going to get the point. 13-4, good rally there. And there's a hit. And there's going to be a kill by Phoebe. So Wildcats get that back. And it's 5-13. Wildcats really need to try to do some serving and get some points here. We just can't trade points at this stage. And there's a good serve, and then, yeah, it's a miscommunication, and there's something in the net there, hitting air on Leah Wegman, and so Braylon Abernathy gets a point, 6-13 Wildcats. Again, we need to chip away here, and it'd be nice if we could get 3 or 4 more points. Braylon with the serving error. This Wildcats just mentally, man, just have to really get a little tougher here. We'll see if we can get it back and what we can do. So there's a serving error by Wegman. So let's see if the Wildcats can take advantage of that. 7-14. Phoebe Henderson's going to go back and serve. And there's a serving error. So Wildcats just Samantha West is going to go back and serve for the Lynx. There's Brooke Silver's going to go off her arms. There's an ace serve for the Lynx. Makes it 16-7. And we've got Samantha West with another serve. Brooke Silver. And they're going to go outside to Brooke. There it is. blocked and kept alive by the Lynx, and they come back over. They throw it over. I don't know what the difference with the bad hit that is, but the officials aren't calling it anymore. And they're going to go outside to Brady, and we reached out and touched that, and if we wouldn't have touched it, I think it would have been out. I mean, sometimes you got to give them credit for trying, but you got to know where you are on the floor. Alexia reached out and touched that, so it's 7-17. And Samantha West will continue to serve, and there's going to be a serve in the net. So the game's not over yet. Wildcats here, if we can get on a streak and get some points, it's 8-17. And sometimes the wheels can fall off pretty quick, and we can get the momentum back here in volleyball. So there's a nice pass by Henderson, and Brady's going to hit it. It just trickles over the net, and it goes over our blockers in front of our back row player, and there's going to be a point, 18-8. And Ava Hoover's going to come in and serve. Hoover with the serve. And Brooke Silver gets it to Braylon. They're going to go back to Brooke, and there's going to be a kill for Brooke. So here we go again. We just can't trade points. It's 9-18. We're in game 3. Wildcats took games 1 and 2. Northland came back and took game 3. Now we're in game 4. And Armstrong's going to serve. And Brady's going to serve. And we're going to go ahead and have a kill. And there it is. Braylon Abernathy, not the original way that you would do it, but Wildcats, it worked. And there's a point. Makes it 10-18. Wildcats need to get something going right here with Riley. She's done a good job of serving tonight. And she goes at West, and they're going to have Brady, who pops it up. And we're going to go ahead and have a free ball over. Wildcats couldn't get anything here. We're going to go outside here to Whitney Brady, and she's going to get a kill for the Lynx, and it's going to be 19-10. And Henderson's going to go back and serve for Northland. 19-10. Wildcats need to get things going here. And there's a short serve popped up by Pete Port, kept alive, free balled over by Avery Weiss. And then back row attack, yes, back row attack by Samantha West goes deep, so there's that hitting error. But like I said, Wildcats can't just trade points. It's 19-11. So it's 19-11. We have Phoebe Henderson checking in and Madison Silver checking in for the first time tonight. Nice serve by Madison. And Lynx are going to get a hit on that weak side from Whitney Brady, and that's going to be a side out. So it's 20-11. Again, Wildcats just can't trade points. We've got to get the serve, and we've got to get some points. And there's Brady in the back row now. Alexia Hornia with the bump over. And free balled back over. See if the Wildcats can't get something. They're going to go with Phoebe Henderson. And they're going to go with back set here to Braylon. Braylon pushes it. That's got to be 2 hits. There we go. Okay, now. Oh, replay. What? I don't know why they're calling a replay. It was clearly 2 hits. I don't know why that happened. Well, they're replaying it, so the serve stays with Northland, and Wildcats free ball it over. And they're going to go outside to West, and West hits it to Madison Silver. She pops it up, and Hornia hits, keeps it alive. Phoebe Henderson hits it over, and there's going to be a kill for Phoebe Henderson. Harley Henderson hit it into the net. And so now, here we go, 20-12. We've got Alexia back serving, and Alexia needs to get the serves going here. We need to get some points. There's a serve, and Rowson goes outside to West. West is she's just going to punch it over and misses it, and so it's 13-20. Maybe that's the spark we need here. Let's see if the Wildcats can get going here. Alexia with another serve. And this one's going to roll up, and it's going to be a back row attack by Hoover. Nice job of talking. We're going to go outside to Phoebe. Phoebe keeps it alive, and there's out of the middle of the net. Savannah has it. The Lynx are right there. Then they're going to attack. Good hustle by the Wildcats. Rowson's going outside to West, and West is going to play up by Madison Silver, and there's Phoebe Henderson again, and just a little deep. So 21-13. And there's Rawson. The bad pass by Hornia, and makes it 22-13. Got Delaney Rawson serving for the Lynx. And there's a pass by Alexia, and Braylon with the attack. The Lynx are going to come back and free ball, and Wildcats are going to end up free balling it back over. And Rowson's going to go back to, and it's in. I think that was Wegman, and she's going to get a kill. And that's a point, 23-13. And Delaney Rowson serving, 13-23. Northland in game 4. There's a pass, and there's punched over by Savannah. And Savannah Cook hits that one over. Tipped back over by the Lynx. And just job by Riley. Just popped it straight up and it came down. And it's going to be Wildcats still have some life. It's going to be tough, but Braylon Abernathy's going to go back. It's 14-23. We'll see what the Wildcats can do here. And Braylon goes to West. It's right there. And free balled over. So let's see. Wildcats going to go in the middle to Savannah. And it's going to be out. And that makes it 24-14. There's too many hitting errors in the Wildcats. 24-14. And it looks like Aaliyah Wegman is going to go back and serve. And there's the pass, and Madison Silver free balls it over. And West is going to go ahead and hit it. Popped up by Abernathy, and free balled back over by Savannah Cook. Rowson's going to go outside to West, and there's going to be a hitting error, so Wildcats still have life, 15-24, but there's no room for error here. Phoebe Henderson's going to go back and serve. And there's going to be yes, good job. Bad pass by the Lynx, and Savannah Cook is right there at the net to put it down. And that's going to make it 16-24, and Northland's going to call a quick timeout. Heartland Bank's a proud supporter of Central City Wildcat Sports. Come visit us today at 59 North 4th Street in Central City, or online at hbtbank.com, and ask about ways to save, including CDs and savings accounts. All right, so Northland coach just wants to make sure girls take care of things, and we'll see. Wildcats, like I said, they got the work cut out for them, but I've seen weirder things happen. And we'll see what Phoebe Henderson can do here. So we're in game 4. It's 24-16. Wildcats were up 2-0, won the first 2. Northland got the second one 25-23, and now we're in game 4. And it's 24-16. Wildcats have just kind of wheels have fallen off here a little bit in this game. So Phoebe's going to serve it, and it's going to go out, and that's going to be the game. So we're going to go to game 5. All right. I think they'll toss for serve and game fives go to 15. So it'd be nice if the Wildcats could get on a roll here and just try to and bury them. So we'll see what happens. All right, so again, we're getting ready for game 5 to start. Games 1 and 2 went to the Wildcats. Games 3 and 4 went to North Lynn, and so now we're in game 5. And game 5, I believe, just goes to 15 points. So Wildcats have to come out and right away and be ready and can't have mistakes. You got to play tight and just be prepared. So North Lynn's coming out. They've got their same players they've had the whole 5 games. And Wildcats are going to have, let's see who's starting. So it looks like we're going to go with Braylon Abernathy and Alexia, Riley Armstrong, Brooke Silver, Savannah Cook, and Avery Wise are going to be out there. And North Lynn gets the serve, and they're going to have Samantha West serving. So Wildcats need to, and there's an out. Perfect. That's the way serving air gets us started. We get the first point, and now we're going to have Avery serve. And let's see what we can do here for the Wildcats. Again, this goes to 15, and there's a good serve. It's going to come right back to the Wildcats, and that's what we need. 2-0 now. Good serve by Avery. Couldn't handle that, and Savannah Cook was right there at the net to punch it down. And Avery will come back with another serve. There's an ace. And it's 3-0. And Northland's coach is calling a quick timeout. Hey, Wildcat fans, open a savings or CD account that meets your needs. Visit a Heartland Bank branch location today or go online to hbtbank.com. Heartland Bank, member FDIC. So that's the exact start that the Wildcats needed. Now we need to keep it up. So 3-0, and Wildcats will be serving with Avery Weiss. And there's a good serve, and it's going to be free ball, and Harley Henderson free balls it into the net. Wildcats will take that, 4-0. And Avery with the serve again. Goes to West, and there's a big arm swing by Whitney Brady, and that's going to be a touch on the Wildcats, and it's going to go out of bounds, and it's going to go over to the Lynx. Now here's the thing is Wildcats are up 4-1, but we got to get the ball back right now and add to our lead. So we've got Hoover with the serve over here for the Lynx. She goes at Brooke Silver. They're going to go back out to Brooke. Brooke needs to do something. Yes! And there it is. Brooke just tipped it, and they found the middle on this side. That's what the Northland Lynx have been doing to the Wildcats in that middle, and Wildcats did it right back to them, and so we'll take that, and it's 5-1. Savannah Cook with the serve, and it's just tipped over, and Brooke was ready for it, and now they're going to try to do something out of it. There's a bad hit, but they didn't call any there, and now they're going to call 4. Yes, nice job by the Wildcats. All right, it looked like it should have been an illegal hit, but we'll take the 4 hits, and it's 6-1, and Savannah is going to keep the serve. She's going to go at Henderson over there, and it's just going to be free balled over, and there's Avery, and go to Braylon. They're going to try to do something quick, and Brooke is just can't get anything to go in. There's a hitting error. She just needs to down ball that. She's just not getting back and getting behind the ball. She's standing too much right at the net, just trying to jump up. So hopefully they'll take care of that. So it's 6-2. Henderson is going to go back and serve here for the Orioles. Brooke Silver, and they're going to go outside to Alicia, and she's just going to tip it. And the Lynx are going to just, yes, hitting error by Whitney Brady, who struggled in the first couple games and then has been doing a pretty good job, and now she has a big hitting error. Wildcats get the ball back to, and 7-2, Riley Armstrong. See if Riley can get a few points here. They're going to go with the back set to Brady. Wildcats keep it alive, free ball it over. Rawson's going to go out. Now she does middle, and there's a bad punch by Brady with her left hand. It goes out of bounds. 8-2, Wildcats up. Riley Armstrong again serving for the Wildcats. She does a little floater, popped up. Rawson just hits it over. Avery Weiss stays home and plays it. And there's Alicia. Yes! Alicia Hornia finally comes back with a kill. It's been a while. She hit the ball well early, but has been struggling. So now we're at 9-2 here. Riley Armstrong doing the serving here for the Wildcats. We're in game 5. 9-2 Wildcats. And Riley serves, goes to Henderson, and it's just free balled over. Pete Port's right there, and Wildcats just tip it back over. Jeez, I just don't. They called 2 hits there on Brooke. Just down ball it or free ball it over. Don't do that, I guess, if you're not squared up. So 9-3, and Pete gets it up to Armstrong. She's going to go outside to Braylon Abernathy, and there's a hitting error on Braylon. So it's 9-4. Wildcats need to do something right now. We've got Whitney Brady serving here for the Lynx, and there's a nice pass, and we're going to have Brooke. There's a good, it's going to be free balled over, and let's see if we can't do something. It's just a tip, and there it is. Yes. Oh, and they're going to call us for 2 hits, but they've been doing it all night, and they don't call them for anything. Inconsistent officiating. So they called 2 hits on Riley, so now it's 9-5. Wildcats need to get it back. And there's another, again, miscommunication by the Wildcats. You got to talk. Everybody's got to be talking and listening. It's 9-6 here. We're in game 5. First team to 15 wins. And Brady. And Alexia Hornia down balls it from the back row. And there's going to be a hit popped up by Brady. They're going to go outside, and how's that not a carry? And they're going to give a point to the Lynx. 7-9. 7-9. And again, I don't know. We hit the ball. It looks like it's okay, and they call hits on us, and they look like they carry it, and they don't call it. So there's Braylon, and there's Avery with the pass up to Armstrong. They're going to go out of the middle with Brooke. Played up by the Lynx. And it's going to be hit, and it's going to go out. Big play there. Leah Wegman with the hitting error. So it's 10-7, and Wildcats are up, and it'd be amazing if Brooke could get 5 serves. We'll see what happens here. Henderson gets to Rousen. West is going to have a hit. Wow, and it's in. The Wildcats just, you got to go for it. You can't guess. And so now it's 10-8. We just gave it back to North Lynn. You got to play. You got to know where you're at. All right, so we've got Rousen in the back. Delaney Rousen doing the serving. And she's going to go at Brooke. Bad pass by Brooke. And nothing that Riley Armstrong could do with it. So now it's 10-9. Wildcats need to have somebody step up and make a play and finish this game here. Rousen with the serve. It's going to go at Pete Port. It's going to go off her arms. It's going to go out of bounds, and it's 10-10. And so we're at 10-10 with Northland serving. Game 5. And there's Avery. And then they're going to come back to Avery Weiss, and there's going to be a hitting error. It's going to go deep. And it's 11-10 now. And we've got Delaney Rousen serving. There's Brooke. And there's going to be a hit by, there we go. A hit by Braylon. We get the kill, and it makes it 11-11. Pete Port goes out. Savannah Cook subs in, and Alicia is going to go back and do the serving here. We're tied at 11, and we're tied 2 games to 2 games. This is game 5. And it's going to be a free ball. The Wildcats need to use this. They're going to, Braylon. Yes, Braylon with the kill in the deep corner. So it's 12-11. Wildcats up, and Alicia serving. And there's going to be a pass, and it's tipped. Oh, miscommunication again by the Wildcats. Again, yeah, you got to talk to each other. They got to talk, and you got to listen. So there was a misplay, so it's 12-12. And Aaliyah Wegman and Brooke Silver plays it up. And it's going to be free balled over by Riley Armstrong. And off of that free ball, Wildcats are going to get a point. Nice hustle by the Wildcats there. And Braylon Abernathy's going to go back. We're 13-12. Wildcats have the opportunity here to put this game away. See if Braylon can step up and make 2 big serves for the Wildcats here. We're all tied up in games. And Wildcats are going to get a chance here. There's a free ball. And we're going to have just a free ball back. Wildcats weren't able to do anything with that. And West is going to have a hit. And there's Avery and Savannah Cook with the tip over. And Rousen's going to go outside to West, and West hits it in the net. Nice. 14-12, Wildcats up right here. One last serve, one last point. Wildcats win. Let's do this, Braylon. And there's going to be a timeout by North Lynn. So Wildcats just need to finish this off, get a good serve, and be ready to play some defense. We'll give one more shout out to Heartland Bank. At Heartland Bank, the strength of our bank lies in the relationships that give meaning to our work. At all times, we remain focused on what we do best, operating as a dependable community bank and delivering on our personal service commitment. Go Central City Wildcats. All right, let's go Cats. See if we can't finish this off. Wildcats took games 1 and 2, and then North Lynn came back and took games 3 and 4, and we're in game 5 right now. 14-12, Wildcats up, going first team to 15 wins, and Braylon Abernathy serving. And the serve is Yes! Wildcats win! Wildcats win! Braylon serves it. Northland couldn't handle it. And Wildcats are going to get their first conference win and win number 2 overall. So much improved team and just got to learn to win. And Wildcats did it tonight. Wasn't easy, but the Wildcats did it. All right, so just as a quick recap, game 1 went to Central City 25-23. Pretty close game back and forth. Game 2, Wildcats again in control 25-21. Then the wheels kind of fell off in game 3, but it was a battle. But Northland came out on top, just too many errors by the Wildcats, and Wildcats let that game 3 slip away 25-23. Then game 4, Wildcats just mentally just weren't ready in that game, and they lost game 4 25-16. But give credit to the Wildcats. A couple girls that struggled in games 3 and 4 that we needed picked back up and picked their game back up, and they made some big plays in that fifth and final game, and Wildcats were able to win 15-12. So Wildcats win 3 games to 2 to get that first conference win. So congrats to the Wildcats. I'm Cindy McCarthy, and I want to thank everybody for listening. Go Cats!